Hello, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming. If you want to turn on your video, that would be great, but if you prefer not to, that's also okay. We'll be getting started in just a couple minutes. We're just waiting for a few other people to join us, but feel free to come off mute and say hello if you want. Many of the people in this Zoom room already know each other because they are part of the Time on Our Hands project. So if you're new, please feel free to come and say hi. All right, looks like we're probably getting a couple more people joining and some people connecting with their audio. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to just start us off with a little bit of an introduction to what we're all doing here today together. Welcome to the Time on Our Hands video launch party. My name is Key, like a key, and I am part of BRAC, which is a platform for socially engaged arts based in Singapore, along with Alicia, who's also here in the audience. And I'm very grateful to be partnering with Time on Our Hands to be launching this party today. So I want to give a little bit of background for those who don't know too much about Co-Creation Workshop. So Co-Creation Workshop is a social enterprise based in Singapore. It's started by Samantha Teo and Pei Ling, and they use art in experimental and accessible ways to innovate purposeful art workshops and programs. They have an emphasis on supporting underserved communities, and they collaborate with creatives and art therapists to co-create products and services to spark inspiration in everyone, regardless of background and abilities. So through purposeful facilitation, they believe that, number one, creative action works for everyone. Art can connect us beyond our social circle, and art should be accessible for everyone. So as you all probably know, today we're going to be watching a short snippet of each of the 4 films that feature a pair of artists and collaborators who worked together in order to learn a particular artistic medium and reflect on their journey therein. So we're going to watch a short snippet of each film, which will then be available later on YouTube if you want to watch the whole thing. And then we're going to hear a little bit firsthand from the collaborators and the artists. So if we think we have everybody here who's supposed to be here, which I think we do, I think we can get started. Does that sound good? Awesome. Alrighty, so the first film, much awaited. I wish I could hear all of you and we could do a drum roll together, but I'm imagining all of you drum rolling. The first video will be about ceramic glazing, and it will be featuring Shuhao and Chloe. So Sophie, if you don't mind going ahead and starting us off with the first video, that would be perfect. Thank you.
Today, we're going to be pinching the cups. How many cups do you want to make today? 5. So as usual, 5 cups, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. How big do you want it? Nice. Half? What do you think? Okay, what's the next step? How many cups? Yes, nice. Okay, so you decide whether you want to be making a cup or a bowl today. If it's a bowl, then we will stretch it out. nice.
And this was just during the night. Text me.
How fit it into a box? Can see the eyes. Can you stick the eyes there? Nice. Nice. I love it. Okay, when I'm ready. Okay, let me store it for you first. Hang on. Lift it up for me first. Lift it up for me first. We add the scoring. Like that. Okay. The next, is this enough? And then we go on to the next one, or you want to put around it as well? Okay. How is it?
Please. Stops.
Squeeze it out, right? Squeeze it out. Take your cup and then gently wipe all around. Okay. Start with, you say your favorite color is red, right? Just go over. Then you can draw. Okay, you can draw. Here I draw. Like a little squiggly. So make it thicker. Slowly. Okay? Now try. Move your body. Slowly. If there's not enough colors, put some more colors. Add some more colors. Nice. Add some more. Try to do 2 layers. Okay? 2 layers. You can change the brush. Wash the brush if you want to change color.
Candles. Can we pause?
Stop a bit. Nice. Wet the brush first, then you add the whip. Let me show you. Let me show you the red. Let me show you. Okay, are you going to paint inside red, the whole thing red? Down, up, down, up. Take the ink, watch, down, up, down, up. Okay, do it neatly. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it and then you will do it on your own, okay? Pour in. Okay, don't need to pour off. Pour this out. Then bring it over here. Then slowly that pour out. Then hold your cup and bring it down. 1, 2, 3, up. Nice?
Nice.
Okay. That's good.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for
Yay.
come to Chloe.
Okay, tell me chest.
This is my chest first time.
Amazing. If you think that deserved an applause, please react with the applause emoji, as I can't hear any of you, but I believe you're applauding. Yay, that was so amazing. Thank you to Chloe and Shuhao for that beautiful, beautiful film. And again, you can watch it on YouTube later. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hear, I'm going to read an excerpt of an essay by To Yiming, who wrote a little bit about Chloe and Shuhao's collaboration. And then if anyone in the audience wants to ask Chloe one quick question, I think we have probably time for one question. And then at the end of seeing all the films, we'll hear from all the artists together. So you'll have more time to ask Chloe about her practice and the project in general. So I just want to read this little excerpt from this really beautiful essay that Yiming wrote. Ang Shuhao, 19, has just graduated from Rainbow Center, which runs special education schools. Diagnosed with autism, Shuhao is independent, wildly creative, and an active doodler. Plasticine is his medium of comfort. He is constantly molding a ball of plasticine to self-regulate and can make all kinds of crazily detailed and imaginative figurines. Shuhao also frequently takes part in projects conducted by Superhero Me, a nonprofit inclusive arts movement that arms children from special needs and less privileged communities with creative confidence. During his collaboration with Chloe, Shuhao was tasked with creating some 40 ceramic bowls and cups for participants, a goal that he was able to achieve with ease. He set his own 5 to 10 minute breaks with the help of a timer. Toward the ends of each session, he was given around half an hour to improvise and design the ceramic item however he likes. So I am wondering if anybody in the audience would like to ask Chloe something about her experience working with Shuhao on this project. And if you do, you can either type it in the chat or you can come off mute and ask directly. Any questions? Oh, awesome. Thanks, Alicia. What has been the most surprising thing that you discovered in this journey together with Shuhao, Chloe?
Hi everyone, I'm Chloe. I think what was really surprising for me throughout this journey will be just learning from like the interaction with Shuhao and seeing how talented he is. Many of us actually work from a physical sketch, or some of us will sketch on like our iPads or a piece of paper. But I think what's really beautiful for Shuhao is everything is in his mind. He has this like amazing vision that he has somehow just create a sketch and this image of what he wants to create in his mind, and that just translate to his hands movement, and he's able to mold what he has in his own thought process just beautifully and putting things together. So I think I'm just very intrigued and just amazed still today by how he worked, which is very like out of the traditional norm. But and I think again that teaches me that we don't have to like conform to a particular way of working. Everyone is unique and beautiful in our own way, and yeah, I think that's the amazing thing, and that's the beautiful thing, to just embrace all these differences and all this uniqueness that everyone has. Yeah, so for me, it's mainly seeing how Shuhao works and the confidence that he has in his own craft, and how non-judgmental he is, about the entire process, about whatever he has in his mind, and really just like pursuing what he wants to create to his fullest.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Chloe. What a beautiful reflection. And I love the thought of Shu Hao just translating his thoughts directly into something material. It's really beautiful. Thank you. And it's also really well aligned, I think, with Time on Our Hands, the whole kind of mission of the project, right? In terms of focusing on the tactile, right? What is hands-on about art making and about creativity. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. If for anyone else who wants to ask Chloe questions, you will have time at the end of our screenings, but we're going to move swiftly along just with time on our hands and time on my mind. We're going to move swiftly along to the next video. So our next video is going to feature cyanotype postcard printing, and it is with Auntie Mary and Samantha. So this time we're just going to watch a snippet of the video, and then you can watch the full length one on YouTube at your own time afterwards. So here is Auntie Mary and Samantha.
What we want to do is we will press the flowers so that it can last.
That is Mom do. Mom do all this.
Not that wonderful. You see, even this, you see, can even be somewhere. That is what I think of. This one went down already.
Okay.
Anyway, I think I put up there.
Okay. So Auntie Mary, maybe
Yes.
I'll show you an example of
Okay.
what I will be doing. We're making pressed flowers. So what we want to do is we will press the flowers so that it can last for a long time. So do you think it's a good size?
I think I'll just see how it comes out. You know, like let's play this way.
Okay.
Okay. Can I take one of
Sure.
this?
All right.
Oops.
Okay. Do you want it at the end?
This. I wanted this, you know.
Oh, okay. It's up already. And then what I'm going to do is, okay, let's try this contraption. Is that when you screw it in, it flattens the flowers,
Uh-huh.
and then we can press flowers. Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Just
This area, something like that, you know. And if this goes here, it's not very nice. It's just two of them. We'll try to see. No,
Do you want to snip this smaller? Do you want to trim this?
no, we just. What I'm trying to do is to put it on a lower level.
Oh, right. So,
You know,
you put it in between.
you know,
Okay. So let me just curve this in. so
Okay,
it-
yeah.
Okay, are we ready? Okay, I'm gonna put on the next layer. So we'll say, okay, flowers. Have a good
Yeah. Oh,
press.
that's nice. We got this here.
Yeah.
That's
Just
nice.
gonna- Okay, wish the best of luck. Okay, and I think that's we're done. I can just put 2 more layers on. So here. Wonderful contraption.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so what it does, it presses it down and then always
Well, then you will have to get that down.
Yes, to tighten it.
Do,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then we'll give it some time and that's when it will. So we have 2 trays, one for you, one for me. And what we're gonna do is like, we're like
So I just put this here.
Amazing. Another round of emoji applause, please, for the amazing Auntie Mary and Samantha. What a beautiful video. Again, before we ask Auntie Mary this time, a question from the audience, I'm gonna just share one small excerpt from an essay. So it says, while waiting for the pressed flowers to be exposed to the UV light, Mary breaks out into a spontaneous dance, swaying to oldies music playing in the background. Her daughter-in-law Shirley and domestic helper Yanti watch on with amusement. Chatty and with a zest for life, Mary's lively presence livens up every room that she is in. She loves to joke and laugh, and often singing along to her favorite oldies to the likes of the Carpenters. Along the way, she dispenses little gems of wisdom in the conversation, such as the philosophy behind why she has arranged the flowers a certain way, or how singing liberates people and feeds their soul. I thought that was a beautiful excerpt, and I think we can keep seeing these images go by. Thank you so much, Sophie. As we ask Auntie Mary, I wonder if you want to share one favorite memory that you have of working with Samantha. And we're just gonna unmute you. There we go, perfect. So
say what you think from the video. Just now you saw the video, what you think.
What you find working with Samantha? How you feel working with Samantha?
I'm not.
What you think of this picture? What do you think of this picture?
This picture
There
is nice,
you.
but now it's only one set only, you see?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I start.
I want to come out, also cannot come out. Unless I have to move and get the whatever there and then get up. Otherwise I'll be sitting on that part there. Sorry, yeah.
How you find working with Samantha?
I don't know.
Uncle John, do you want to share anything about what you saw in the process?
You think that? What do you think after you see this video?
You make on these pictures.
After you see all of this, what do you think?
It's so much advanced than the other class. The other class is totally nothing. That's why I've been telling her, I said she go to this class better than the class.
No, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same.
I
It's the
said,
same.
then she bring home
No, it's the
another
same thing.
class.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And Shirley, what did you think of the video when you saw it?
Oh, I
Putting you
find
all
the
on the
video,
spot.
yeah, very interesting. And then my mom really enjoy spending time doing all this canopy with Samantha, and she really have a great fun with that.
Amazing. It seems like it was both directions, right? Samantha had such a wonderful time with Auntie Mary,
Yeah,
and
we really have a great time with Samantha, and we really enjoy doing this flower blessing. We hope more will
Amazing.
come.
I think it will. It looks like Auntie Mary has created some very, very beautiful creations. So
It's more creative than most of us. When it comes to do the designing.
well, don't worry, Shirley, you can get a kit and you can do this at home also.
Yeah,
So
sure.
all of you can do it together. Auntie Mary can teach you how. I think.
Yeah, we enjoy it. I will definitely get a kit and do it with her again.
Amazing. Thank you so much to your family for sharing and for
Thank you,
letting
thank
Auntie
you.
Mary join this as well. Really appreciate it. Amazing. So we'll have time at the end again to ask Samantha some more about her process as well. But we're going to move swiftly along again to the third video. So our next video is about latch hook badge making. and it features Rabia and Izzy. So welcome to the virtual stage.
Okay, so yang dalam dia colour warna kuning. Okay, lepas tu group all dia. Okay, jadi Rabia boleh warnakan kat sini.
Amazing. Another round of applause. Let's give them a hand. That was so beautiful. And I hope you all could notice as well that on the video, there's actually some instructions. So we'll be speaking later about the fact that Co-Creation Workshop has created these beautiful kits that people can order so that you can watch the videos like a tutorial and do some of this art making at home. So if that is interesting to you, you too can have a transformative artistic experience. So I'm just going to read again a little excerpt from an essay about this project. So growing up, Rabia has always been drawn to art and craft in some form or another, be it building tiny nanoblocks into elaborate models or painting the sunrise and painting the sunrise and scenes outside her window. The young cancer survivor is largely homebound and lives with her aunt and as her mother is receiving cancer treatment as well. Over time, as Rabia's capacity and confidence in her art making abilities slowly grew, she moved from water pencils and collage making to experimenting with watercolors and acrylic on canvas. For the first time, Rabia spent a day out independently with Iziana and Yen at Gardens by the Bay in their first meeting. While exploring the flower dome, she enthusiastically snapped away, choosing to capture images of brightly colored flowers and her favorite, the sunflower. So I am wondering, Yen, if you might be able to introduce us to the two people in the frame with you, and maybe we can ask you a couple questions.
Hello, everyone. So this is Rabia, Rabia's mommy, Madam Zahara. This is their first time on Zoom. And also, of course, the first time watching the video.
Thank you so much. I'm wondering how all of you are feeling about watching the video and seeing all of those beautiful moments captured. If you want to share anything.
Rabia, you want to say something? Just now, Rabia was saying, Mommy was asking Rabia whether it is easy or not. Rabia said, "Boleh."
Well captured. Very nice. And Yen, do you want to share anything about what you experienced or witnessed during watching Rabia's growing and working alongside Izzy?
Actually, watching this video, it's definitely, I feel very touched. The project with Rabia and Izzy has been ongoing for a few months. And every week, Rabia was stitching, very unhurried, one stitch at a time. So there was a lot of, it really taught me a lot about really like what the project is saying, time on our hands, not in a rush. So watching the video today, I'm very touched. Maybe let's hear from Mommy. What do you think of the video? Yeah.
Yeah, I was so impressed as well by the precision with which Rabia and Izzy are working together on those stitches. I was thinking like, I will get so frustrated, you know, I'll be just throwing down the thing, oh, I can't do it. But there was so much collaboration and so much attention to detail. And that is really beautiful to see in this time when we're all so rushed, you know, all the time. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out as well. Thank you so much, the three of you, for joining us today and for that beautiful reflection as well. We're going to move along to our final video before we open up the floor for a dialogue and then some questions. And so our final video is a video that features Tamimi and Mary, and they are going to be showing us lino stamp printing. Amazing. And one last round of applause for Mary and Tamimi. What a beautiful video. I feel like lino printing is one of those really difficult mediums where you have to keep track of which one is forward and which one is backward, and so easy to mess it up. So I love to watch that. Beautiful. I'm gonna bring us home with one more little excerpt of an essay before we hear from hopefully Tamimi himself. So even from a young age, Tamimi's creative flair was evident. He preferred to express his thoughts on paper, creating vibrant worlds through his comics. An avid gamer and TV watcher, Tamimi's routine is largely confined to home and school due to the lack of affordable transportation that is accessible to him. It was through these sketches that Tamimi created the Chip character, a spiky blue-haired potato chip and a spunky attitude, which he says is an avatar of himself. Chip often goes on imaginary adventures, from roaming the Potato Land planet, going supermarket shopping, or battling an evil nemesis. Tamimi has big plans for Chip. He has even developed his own merchandise line, incorporating Chip into a t-shirt, car decals, tote bag, and plushie. He advertises these on Potato Shop, a Facebook page where he conducts live sales with his father to boost the family's income for his hospital and transport funds. So we are very lucky and honored to have with us today the creator of Chip, Mr. Tamimi himself. And Tamimi, I'm wondering if you would like to tell us anything about this video. Do you want to share anything, Tamimi? I think you're muted.
Tamimi. Tamimi, can you hear us? Yes.
Hi, Tamimi.
Hi.
Hello, thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me to do the video.
It was so good. It was such a great video, Tamimi. Your artwork is amazing.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell us anything about the video?
Not really.
Not really. That's totally okay. We saw so much of you in the video already, but thank you so much for being part of this project. And we want to know more about Chip too.
Oh.
Amazing. And Mary, do you want to share anything on that note? We're actually going to soon launch into our artist dialogue, but I do want to leave a little bit of space first if you want to say anything right after we've seen your video.
Okay. I've worked with Tamimi since the middle of 2019 for a previous project, and I've watched him develop as a person and also an artist. So it's very nice to see him slowly start to own his own ideas and make his own decisions with regards to art making. So that's really nice to see.
Amazing. Thank you. And it sounds like going into lots of different mediums of art making as well, which is so awesome.
Yeah, I think exposing him to different kinds of art medium is a way to get him to think about expression and how he can apply some of these medium to his own, creative endeavors.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you, Mary. So thank you everyone so much for watching those 4 videos. Again, they will be available on YouTube if you all want to watch the full length version. We're now going to move over to the artist dialogue part of today. So we're just going to hear a little bit from the artists who were involved in the projects about what it was like for them to be part of this. So I'd like to start out by asking Chloe and Izzy, what surprised you most during the Time on Our Hands project? And either one of you can go first.
Okay. I think wait, hi everybody. So I think what surprised me most, something that constantly pops up every time I do like a project with the community, is that how the textile material is very meditative and very healing. So for everyone who I've met, they've always had this it's the same feedback and the same response, like how they feel calmer, and they feel like it forces them to kind of like slow down. And I don't know why it surprises me every single time, but it still does. Yeah. So and I love to see like Rabia just taking her time, and also she was very patient, and like her relentless attitude to just like keep going and not stop, because we kept asking her like, are you tired, do you want to take a break and stuff like that, but she just like wanted to keep going on. So that was very nice to see that like, even though it might be a little bit challenging for her with like very fiddly materials, but she still had that like very positive attitude. Yeah.
Thanks, Izzy. And it sounds like in that one act, you learned so much about Rabia as well, her persistence and her attention to detail and her patience, her focus.
Yeah, and I think it's something that all tactile mediums have, you know, that kind of element. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Chloe, do you want to add anything on that question?
I think for myself will be what I shared earlier. Be able to be with Shu Hao on his journey, and to really see how Shu Hao translate his ideas from movies and shows, TV programs that he watched, to eventually molding them and just working on what he has in his mind with clay. So I think this process, it's the most surprising and the most memorable experience for me. And I think very often on the surface, we would think that I've actually taught Shu Hao a skill. The fact is, I think Shu Hao has taught me a lot more about just life, you know, making, just by being who he truly is. So I think I love how simple Shu Hao is, his family is as like a community. And I find that it's very rewarding for me to be able to interact with him and see how he works, his inspiration. It's very simple, but yet heartwarming for me.
Amazing. Thank you, Chloe. I saw a lot of the other artists nodding their head when you shared that point. I'm wondering if anyone else wants to say anything in response to that.
I could add to that the part where Chloe said that Shu Hao taught her a lot of things about his life. I find that in our artistic practice, when we take the role as a mentor or a teacher, and then, you know, someone from a position where we're able to deliver a lesson, the more I personally, the more I teach, the more I realize the roles are very interchangeable and very fluid. And the mentee or the student can also be the teacher, and that every moment is a teaching and a learning opportunity for both. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mary. And I definitely felt like even just the tone of each of the different videos showed such a companionship. I really felt like there was a real companionship in each of the different pairs, and it's very beautiful to see that, and how much exchange of learning and knowledge and wisdom went between you and the partner that you were working with. Sam, did you want to add something to that?
Yes, talking about companionship, I think Auntie Mary also taught me a lot. I would say I aspire to be like Auntie Mary when I grow older, especially thinking about like her relationship with Uncle John, and also reflecting about her relationship with her daughter-in-law, her children. That's really an aspiration of mine, where I would like to be like that someday, like, you know, to have a warm family, and, you know, to continue to be loving with my spouse. And I'm just kind of like looking at them now, enjoying their cake. It's really, really wonderful. Yeah. And I think Chloe has brought up Shu Hao over here. Thank you so much, Chloe. Okay. So Shu Hao hasn't been able to log in and join us, but I think Chloe has him on her side.
Shu Hao, I think
Hi,
they want.
I'm always sorry I'm Zooming today.
No problem. We're so happy that you're joining us now.
I'm so sorry because it's the my Zoom meeting cannot find it. But why?
No worries at all, Shuhao. We all enjoyed watching your video. It was so, so, so wonderful. And your art is amazing.
I'm sorry, this is not my fault.
No, it's not your fault. Shuhao, they just told you that your art is amazing and they watched your video. Do you have anything you want to tell them?
My art is this is my crave workshop. I got made huge. But this one is the category say very first time. But now I can say the first time for you, and this is my own Zoom meeting. I can't find my number before. Not so what to do, but because oh my God, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I can't work and do everything.
No.
Together.
Thanks, Shuhao. I didn't catch all of that, but what I think you said is that, well, what I think you said is that you learned all these different tactical things and now you have to learn how to get on Zoom, and it's actually quite difficult, which is totally true. Zoom is a very complicated interface. So we feel you. We were having our own problems getting on Zoom, and I'm so glad you could join us for this little period of time. Thanks, Shuhao.
You're welcome.
Amazing. I'm so glad we got to hear from Shuhao firsthand. Thank you, Chloe, for making that happen. Amazing. And I want to now ask Sam if you want to share one very memorable moment from your collaboration with Auntie Mary.
The most memorable moment for me was when, and these are moments, they're not a single moment, was when there was music coming on and then Auntie Mary was just dancing, and Yanti is smiling right over there. And you know, just so much like joy, and like sometimes I feel that, you know, we're so busy with work, and like, I mean, especially reflecting on myself, that we're just kind of running from one point to the other and trying to achieve that and this, and sometimes we forget about what it means to really be present in the moment and to enjoy the moment. And Auntie Mary embodies that. Like every time there's like her favorite songs that come along, she'll start to break into song and she'll start singing and she'll start dancing. And I just wondered, like, and I have a little bit of restraint or self-consciousness, but she's just so confident. And that's why, you know, like I do have to say, I do aspire to be her, to be confident, to be free, and also to be able to enjoy every moment. I think that's what I really learned from her, and those moments that I share with her is something that I definitely would treasure.
What a beautiful reflection. Thank you, Sam. Auntie Mary, you're teaching all of us about what it means to live your life with elegance and life and happiness. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You are welcome.
Amazing. I feel like we should actually put on a song and have a dance party right now.
We can always get together.
That is the spirit.
Auntie Mary, would you like to sing something for us? Shall we have a song?
Song you like? Any song is coming to your mind?
Ave Maria.
Ave Maria? Okay, sing. Just sing you.
Is it? Okay. You by my side, that's how I see. Yes. I close my eyes and I can see. Yes. We're on our way to the I do. My secret dreams have all come true. I see the church, I see the people. You I'm happy and smiling. And I can hear sweet voices singing. Ave Maria. Oh, my love, will really be that day you walk down the aisles with me. Let me be, I'm the one for you. I'll be yours, all yours, now and forever. I see the church, I see the people. You, folks and mine, happy and smiling. And I can hear sweet voices singing. Ave Maria. Oh, my love, this can really be that someday you walk down the aisles with me. Let it be that I'm the one for you. I'll be yours, all yours, now and forever. I see the church, I see the people. You, folks and mine, happy and smiling. And I can hear sweet voices singing. Ave Maria. Ave
That was so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Auntie Mary, not only are you a visual artist and a dancer, but you are a singer. Oh my goodness. What a voice. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much for giving us that gift.
Well, I'm happy to be there.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Auntie Mary. And thank you, Sam, for thinking of that. What a beautiful performance. That was so wonderful. I want to just move us along a little bit to a couple last questions, and then I'm going to open up the floor in case anybody in the audience wants to ask our artists some questions. But I did want to just ask how this project influenced your thinking about the role of artists as agents for social change. And maybe we could start with Izzy on that one.
Hi. So, well, I think art always has the power to affect change because of its it's more of a visceral and emotional impact, I think, on the audience. So it already has that power, but also I think through this project, what I've realized is that with like during the digital age, like social media and stuff like that, we're always thinking about how to reach like maximum reach and get the maximum followers, and then when you do a project like this, you just realize how it is equally powerful, and perhaps even more important, that we work with individuals also. I think change can start with one person. Yeah, so we don't always need to have like the maximum audience and things like that. Yeah, so the effect that art can have on just one person, I think, is already enough. So yeah, doing this project really makes me realize that. Yeah.
Wise words. And the depth of the connection.
Yes, correct.
Thank you, Izzy.
Thank you.
Mary or Sam, do you want to respond to that too?
I think sometimes as artists, our practice tend to be very self-centric, and very task-oriented. But when we take on the role as someone to guide another person in the process of art making, we can take a more active role in terms of not just the guidance part of it, but being very mindful of the needs of our participants. And in that way, we become more sensitive to them. We also inevitably also teach ourselves to slow down a lot more. So it's really also along the same strain as what Izzy just shared. Being very mindful that our actions can create change, can effect change. And if everyone contributes in the same strain, putting in, thinking of others and thinking as a collective, I think when we work together, we can create a culture of compassion, empathy, and also at the same time enabling everyone to be very aware of their strength and to work to their strength.
I love the idea of changing culture one person at a time. Thank you so much for that, Mary. That's beautiful. And Sam, do you want to add anything onto that?
So I do agree with Mary that it's not only about artists contributing to society, but it's also the whole idea of like in working together with different individuals, we activate a different sense, a different sensibility, not just in ourselves as artists, but also like something that, we could pave the way for. And one thing that I'm very passionate about as a facilitator and also as an educator is that, and also my hopes for this project is that in having Chloe, having Izzy, having Mary on board, they to me, they are role models, and that's the reason why we have them as part of this project. I mean, they lead by example, and I really do hope that in future that there are more artists who would carve out, will spend their time or even incorporate in their practice elements whereby they engage others and when they engage community. And I hope that this will be kind of a cascading or rippling effect, like a little bit like a butterfly effect, where after this project, we see more and more artists interested in being socially engaged and also, creating works that's just beyond their studio that really kind of reaches out into society.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's a riling call to action, and I hope and trust that any other artists on this call will also take that very seriously. Thanks, Sam. And the last question from me is just, I'm very curious how this project has already or will change your respective artistic practices. Because I think all of you have very renowned and praised artistic practices in your own right. And I'm curious how doing something like this might influence the way that you plan to move forward as an artist. So Chloe, maybe we could start with you.
Okay, hi. For me, I think being able to work with Shu Hao has been a very meaningful journey, and the experience has inspired me to really look at and interpret ceramics making in a more explorative form. It makes me realize that everyone, regardless of how diverse we are, have just this innate ability or this talent to create. And in order to truly create, I think it's a more organic way if we stay, just always stay curious and just have this spirit to not be afraid of exploring before the traditional norms and boundaries. So I think for me, it's something that I would like to just work on myself this year as well, to probably just bring myself out of my comfort zone, because I've been for the longest time really just very comfortable with working on the electric wheel. And my interaction with Shu Hao has made me think of what I can possibly just do for myself to step outside the comfort zone and to explore maybe hand building at a deeper level. So
amazing. How exciting.
yeah.
We'll be looking out to see what you do with that. And I'm sure that Shu Hao will be a source of inspiration for the coming year. Awesome. Thanks, Chloe. And Mary, did you want to share anything on that note as well?
Yeah, I think what Chloe mentioned about moving out of comfort zones and going into the space of taking risk and slowing down time a lot more resonates. I resonate a lot with that. So for a long time already, I've been trying to move into process-based artistic practices and not so much focus on outcomes and the look or the aesthetic of the outcome. So working with Tamimi has also shone a light on that because I watched him grow to who he is today for just 2 years now. And I've seen how he take control of his ideas and own them, you know, and I really like to see that process. And it also made me very aware that time is like a friend, you know, you have to make friends with it in order to make it kind of work for you. And time is so elusive also. It just slips by, and working with Tamimi has made me very aware of time-based, process-based processes. And I like to collaborate more with different kinds of people. I think there is this process of exchange that's very precious to me. Yeah. And enabling one another to draw out our strength and to also at the same time reflect our weaknesses. Because I think sometimes I try not to look at my weaknesses. It reminds me of my shortcomings. But as I process a bit more, you know, progress a bit more with Tamimi, I also see where I can improve. And that is important in any kind of practice, whether it's artistic or life or whatever. Yeah, I think that's just that becoming more effective, I guess. Yeah.
So courageous of you to be embarking on that journey as well. I think for all of us, it's an inspiration to say, how can we look at our weaknesses and our shortcomings more in the face, you know, and dive into that space. So thanks, Mary. Yeah, amazing. And so we are wrapping up in about 4 minutes, but I want to leave the floor open in case anyone would like to ask our artists any questions. If you want to put anything in the chat, I will just read it aloud. So Alicia says, super interesting to hear about the focus on individual relationships and the depth of connection. Would be curious for the artists to share their thoughts about sustaining such practices and processes, as the journey does require a lot of commitment and time from all parties. Do any of the artists want to speak to this? And this will probably be the last comment that we have time for, but does anyone want to share any thoughts on that comment from Alicia?
If I can say something.
Yes, please. Thanks, Susie.
I think having agents like co-creation is very important, because sometimes as artists we work very much in isolation, and even though sometimes you might want to like connect with the community or involve them more in our artwork, sometimes we just don't know who to go to and things like that. So when you have someone who can kind of like bridge that gap, like between the public and also the artist, so having co-creation is perfect. Yeah, so I think having more of that kind of like bridging, yeah, would really help a lot. Yeah. Absolutely. If anyone else would like to add. So thanks, Sam and Bailey.
Yeah, I think when we encourage one another to embark on such social engagement, it really is encouraging for others, our audience, to look from the outside in, you know, and that also help to create that butterfly effect, which Sam also mentioned earlier on. You just never know the kind of effects effects and influence that one has on another. We don't see it, but it's there, you know. Yeah, and it's very, very encouraging to see.
I love the thought of a big web of influence being created, right? Where each of you is one part of it and each of the collaborators is one part of it and co-creation workshop is one part of it. And it's sort of expanding out and influencing different people's minds and hearts and intentions. So that's a wonderful, wonderful way to end. I want to thank you all so much for spending your time with us today. I feel very, very grateful to have been able to witness each of those different videos and to get to meet each of you. And I'm sorry that we couldn't all be in the same space physically together, but hopefully someday soon, COVID will be not a thing and we can all hang out. But I do want to give a couple acknowledgements and thank yous. So of course, especially thank you to all of the incredibly talented, generous and present collaborators, Shu Hao, Auntie Mary and family, Rabia and family, and Tamimi. And thank you very much to our dedicated and skillful artists, Chloe, Samantha, Izzy, and Mary. Thank you to To Yiming for writing a beautiful essay from which I read some excerpts today. Thank you to Sean Kung, who recorded and edited those absolutely gorgeous videos that you can watch again in full whenever you want on YouTube. Thank you to Co-Creation Workshop team, Samantha and Pei-Ling, for putting all of this together. And thank you to the support partners. I believe our National Arts Council, Alzheimer's Disease Association, Children's Cancer Foundation, and Superhero Me. And I thank you, lastly, all of you for spending your time with us today. And I really hope that you can keep following the work of each of these artists and collaborators and of Co-Creation Workshop to see what happens next, because I'm sure it will be very exciting and rich. So thanks everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day. And you can come off mute if you want, just to cause some havoc and say hi and bye and all of that. Okay, how about everybody come off mute? 1, 2, 3, bye!
Bye! See you again soon.
Thank
Bye,
you, Brad.
everybody. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Ki.
Thank you.
Bye.
Are we staying on? Are staying on?